Good morning, Year 6. Welcome to today's English session, where you're going to be writing the opening to your own story. This is from what you planned yesterday, okay? So we are going to be using your plan to create your work. Now then, here are your steps to success, that criteria to make a really good story, okay? So we should be looking to write using your story map, keeping to the basic plot that you've already planned out. Now, your story contains an exciting event or events to engage the reader, to keep them interested, to hook them and keep them engaged in your story. It should have a clear ending. Your character's speech makes a story more interesting. You should have bits of speech. Now, it shouldn't be a whole story of speech at all, okay? It should just be dotted around just to move it on and to add a little bit more depth. You should choose your verbs and adverbs for effect, so really powerful verbs and adverbs. Using modal verbs here as the next one to intensify. He should, they should, she must, okay, all of those things there. We're looking for fronted adverbials, and of course we're looking for lots and lots of description. As well, with description, it's that interesting vocab all the way through. Now then, you will find that you will not be able to do all of these today, obviously, because you are only writing the opening to your story. So let's have a little look at something that I have put together and see which one of these that you can see in my story opening. Okay, so this was my plan that I talked about yesterday. So it's my opening, it's where and who, and I'm going to be talking about London and this school and describing the school playground. Now, you'll see how much I've already created, how much has been written down already, but it doesn't include anywhere near all of this yet. I've still got a lot more writing to do. So keep that in mind. When you're writing your opening, you might find it might take 2 or 3 paragraphs, okay? Remember, we're building this up over time, so I just want the opening today, and it might be 2 paragraphs, it might be 3 paragraphs, okay? So here is mine. The day dawned to birds tweeting, the sun's rays piercing through the window like hot daggers, and the rumble of traffic in the far distance. In a sleepy village on the edge of London, all the signs pointed to a wonderfully bright day. Unfortunately, nature seemed to have overlooked James, who was still deep asleep in his slumber. Beep, 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 beep. The alarm clock obliterated his peaceful sleep. Sleepily, James slammed his little hand in a vague direction of the annoying sound. He must now wake up and face the reality. It was time to go to his new school. Okay, so you can see this is the start of my story. And this is what I planned yesterday. But if you look, the only thing I've really covered here is where it's taking place, okay, and what the day is like, setting that scene. And I've got my first introduction to my main character, but I've not yet included any of this. I've not included the school yet. And you can see that this is only in the first, there's 2 mini paragraphs here, but you can see it's like basically 1 paragraph. So I've still got at least another 1 to 2 paragraphs to get all of this information in here. So this is just the start of my story, and you can see how long it is going to be. And that's why we're doing this over a couple of lessons. So when you write your story today, I want you to think about that, okay? Not just 1 little mini paragraph, okay? Build it up. If it takes a little bit of time, spend a little time building it up. Now, what things of these did you find in my story? Well, let's have a little look. I've already highlighted some of them here. Everything in the red here are my fronted adverbials. The day dawned, the birds tweeting, comma. In a sleepy village on the edge of London, comma. Okay, where and when it took place. For time, unfortunately, the manner it took place here, unfortunately, sleepily. Okay, so I got my fronted adverbials. In the orange here, I've got some really good descriptions, so adjectives or phrases, okay, similes and metaphors, you might find that. So again, the sun's rays piercing through the window like hot daggers. Again, it's not really, the sun's rays not really a hot dagger going through the window, but I'm comparing it to that, and that's how warm it actually is. Okay, slumber rather than sleep. Again, a peaceful sleep. An annoying sound. Again, facing the reality. Okay, are all examples of really good, powerful adjectives. And the green here are some powerful verbs. Piercing, the rumble, overlooked, obliterated, slammed. And even here, I've got a modal verb. He must now wake up and face the reality. So you can see how many different features I've got just in this short little paragraph, this opening part. And this is what I'm going to be looking for you to have in yours. Now, you'll notice I've not got a front-end verb at the start of every sentence. It'll make my writing long and boring and hard to read. I've not used really, really technical words, okay? I've just used some really good, powerful language. And that's what I'm looking for. And I am keen to stress that this is not even half of my opening. It is not even half of this, okay? I've only just started. So, year 6, your task is to create your own opening to your own story. So use your plan and any feedback that I gave you from yesterday, okay? I will post this steps to success into your English group so you can have that as well. And I would like you to create me an opening. Now, have a think about how you do this. Because we're going to be adding to this over a lot of days, okay? It's going to take us about 4 or 5 days to create this whole story. You might want to think about using a computer to type this and to make it on the computer. And that way you can make any changes really, really quickly, or you can make any edits. And again, you can send me the file each day and I can then just keep adding my comments to it. So, when you make your opening, I would advise you use a computer to type it. However, you don't have to. Of course, you can write it. But next week when we maybe edit and proofread our work, you might have to rewrite it out again. But that choice is completely up to you. Okay, so create your opening, write it, and send your work to me as soon as it is finished, and then I can get it marked for you and get it back to you, okay, before our next session. So year 6, enjoy. I will leave this here in case you want to pause the video and have another look at mine again. Have a wonderful day, year 6, and I will speak to you very shortly. Goodbye.